Alright, so here we have the graph here. This is going to represent the temperature versus the time on the temperature sensor. These are some displays here. They're pretty self-explanatory. As we can see, the Grove kit is down here. It has a nice little cover for the temperature sensor. This is the potentiometer, that's the button. The temperature sensor is right here. I don't know if you can see that yellow mark, but it's right under there. The aluminum foil is there to try and make it more sensitive to the environment it's in. I'm going to run the code. You should see this start updating accordingly. As you can see, the sample rate is pretty high right now. Sample rate is determined by the potentiometer. So you can see it's inaccurate because, well, it's spiky because the temperature sensor has an accuracy of plus minus 1.5 Celsius, so it can randomly spike, go up or down and whatnot. But as you can see, the general trend is somewhere around 23 Celsius. That's room temperature. If I put my hand on the temperature sensor, you should see it start going up or down. Yeah, you can see it start slowly going up because my hand is pretty warm. I'm going to let go. I'm going to turn the potentiometer. You're going to see the sample rate go really slow. So you can see it basically slows down to a crawl. Look at that. And lastly, if I hold, I'm going to turn it back up so you can get active results. I'm going to hold the button down, and this way it should download and turn off the code. As you can see, being a state change. Code is off. As you can see, I downloaded it a couple times, but that's the most recent one. If you want to hook it up, if you want proof, there's my time right there. There's a time listed there, and then my temperature and time log data right there. All right, then.
So as for calibration and thresholds, here I have a file that's actually displaying the calibration data. This here is a plot showing off the raw T sensor being the temperature sensor reading against the process temperature sensor reading. This is volts versus Celsius. This just basically shows me for every change in the voltage, how much is the process reading changing. This helped me calibrate the temperature sensor for the conditions it is currently in, that condition being my room. As you can see, it's plotted against time and actually reads the information here. As for the thresholds, it's mostly with the functions themselves. Voltage temperature cannot accept the value of 0 because if it's not possible for it to get a value of 0 unless the temperature sensor is not connected, and if it gets a value of 0, that means the temperature sensor is not connected. So it will throw out an error, that being a threshold. Up down average basically just doesn't allow no inputs. So you can put in a 0 matrix, that works, but if you put in a nothing matrix, it won't work. And this function, it's meant for the potentiometer. There's no limit or threshold here, but it's more of a hardware threshold. The potentiometer itself cannot exceed 5 volts and cannot go below 0 volts because it just can't. It's not rated for that. And finally, as for the temperature sensor itself, it is listed as having a range from negative 40 Celsius to 125 Celsius approximately, with an accuracy of 1.5 Celsius. As for what I've learned while making this project, I feel like I learned a lot more about how to actually plot things and work with sensors. At the start, I had no idea how to actually connect the temperature sensor with the code, and that took a lot of know-how. I actually had no idea how to plot with time, not knowing anything about the date time function, not knowing anything about how to actually set these labels to actually make them update. But now, after doing my fair bit of research and working with my sources and whatnot, I actually figured out how this plot dynamically updates. It doesn't make a new figure every time. It actually adds a new data point as well as all the older data points and actively updates, and also allows me to download things. I feel like this ties into course learning objective number 5, which is in regards to plotting things. Course learning objective number 7, which is in regards to sensors and actuators connecting with your computer and interfacing, as well as course learning objective number 4, which talks about engineering applications. This being a more engineering and scientific application, literally just you connect with the sensor, you get all the data. This data is going to be used in a scientific setting, of course. And lastly, I feel like course learning objective number 1 with the creation of algorithms. As you can see, I had to make 3 algorithms here for this code to work.